Restructuring. There are 70 million Yorubas and Tinubu does not speak for them. FFK makes it known. Hello, my wonderful people. We are all aware of Asiwaju's Bola Tinubu's selfish ambition. I say selfish because he did not consult with the Yoruba people generally to speak. He did not have a word with majority, even people from his state, Lagos, to say, what do you think about the Oduduwa's Republic? He picked only not even a handful of people, insignificant number of people, just the governors. Yes, the governor is one man who is entitled to one vote to come and speak and say, we, the Yorubas, do not accept Oduduwa Republic. That's your perspective. It's not the general consensus. If you want to take a stand, for goodness sake, the Oduduwa's Republic has fixed, which is the normal thing to do when there is agitation, what we call a referendum for June the 12th. So what they've cleverly done is, right before June the 12th, they quickly want to put it out there that they, the leaders, we, the leaders, are against whatever referendum you want to do. It's not done. You can't use your perspective to judge for others. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if this is your first time. God bless you. Thank you. Restructuring. There are 70 million Yorubas, and Tinubu does not speak for them all. FFK speaks. Public Affairs Analyst and former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode (FFK) has once again spoken about Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's presidential bid and what it means to the Yoruba people. According to FFK, Tinubu's admission has made him very selfish to stop the agitation and rather calling for restructuring. In his words, one of the lessons that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and those with him will soon learn is that it is very dangerous thing and an exercise of fatality to stand against a moving train. You cannot withstand a moving train. Never. Those that met in Lagos yesterday only represented their narrow mindset and bounds of thinking and their political party. It's not the general consensus of all Yorubas. They don't represent the position of the Yoruba people. There are 70 million Yorubas in the world today, and Tinubu does not speak or lead most of them. So he cannot stand to represent them in that light. He only leads part of APC in parts of the south, a part of the southwest, and those that are with him are mainly members of the fading ruling elite. If there is a referendum on self-determination in the southwest tomorrow, these characters will be flushed down the toilet and thrown into the dustbin of history. The way to counter these those that want to exercise their right of self-determination and leave Nigeria is not an act as if they do not exist. Impossible for you to impose your will on everybody. Dismiss that and look out for the right way and accept to a public debate what we call a referendum and don't dismay people's legality, conscience and aspiration, but instead to try and understand where they are coming from. Speak with the people. Don't be carried away by your fears and anxieties and neglect and forget about the people's interests. Give them guarantee about the place and the role they will play in this new restructuring you are talking about. Outside of that, it is only a question of time before they break away and determine their own future. Tinubu does not control the streets of Southwest. The Yoruba nationals and separationists do. Those that met in Lagos only represent a tiny group, so tiny and is rather insignificant. Of this group of the Southwest to come out and say that Yoruba nation will not stand. They are cowed to beg and lobby for separationists behind closed doors and condemn and disown their very own people is what we call betrayal. Such intellectual dishonesty, double standard, cowards representation, deep down in their hearts, they want to break off from Nigeria as well as others. But they have no courage because they are slaves. Tinubu should forget about this presidential ambition and join the moving train rather than standing against it. They forget that the proposed of Tinubu's presidency disgusts the Yoruba nationals and the majority of the people of the Southwest. Such presidency will not stop the separationists. It will only strengthen and embolden them. He needs to know that. You have spoken very well, elaborately, my brother. You have spoken very well in terms of the current predicament we find ourselves. That a few people who think that they control and they determine what is met. I'm talking about less than 20 people from 70 million. What fraction is that? I would really like to know the fraction of 70 people out of 70 million. What stake is that? In which country is that acceptable? So they stand up and all they are saying is it cannot hold. You don't do that. You only owe a fraction. You don't determine the whole of the people. You don't stand and speak for the whole of the people. You are only standing for yourself, with yourself, for your interest, and not for everybody. So you cannot stand against the tides. And I love the wonderful illustration. You cannot stand against a moving train. If you do, guess what happened? You get crushed. Is what happens now. You get crushed and driven off by the train. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu called a few people, yes, and spoke to them and says, we have to take a stand. If you need to take a stand, you need to speak to the stakeholders to what really matters. You don't stand with two people out of 70 million. Do you see the faction? Because you are, and I mean, you are the leader of APC. You are not a governor, you are not a senator, you're not representing anybody. You are representing yourself, all because of this presidential ambition. Is this what should be? Even the streets, you don't control the streets. The streets are controlled by those who are saying, you know what, we want out. You have not had a word with them. No way. You've not had a word with them. You have not spoken to them. You've not done anything. You've not had a round table, a town hall meeting. Let's understand this. Why are we? Can we? Should we? You've not. You stood up and you said it will not stand. Guys, leave us a comment. We'd like to hear from you. Bye for now.